But let's check this out. I want to check this out last week, but we didn't get a chance.
Eugene Stoner is known as being one
Eugene, is that where the name came from? I assumed it was like a pothead that made it.
of the most prolific firearms designer of the entire 20th century. Most people knowing him for his invention, or his hand in the invention, of the AR-15 platform and that entire family of rifles.
Wait, really? That was the same guy who made this? Literally, the only thing I know the Stoner from is from Tom Clancy's Wildlands. I like the Stoner. It's really cool in that game.
What people are less familiar with is the weapon that he designed that bore his name, the Stoner 63.
Yeah, I love this thing. It looks
if you
cool.
happen to know about it, odds are you know it from Call of Duty Black Ops.
Nah, I know it from Tom Clancy Wildlands. It's freaking dope. It's like the best weapon in that game.
I see you.
Oh, it was a good weapon in that one too, though.
Is I.
Blast is always
Familiar,
great.
Quick highlights: the Stoner 63 was a 5.56 modular rifle and light machine gun, popularized for its use by special forces groups during the Vietnam War. Both in Vietnam and today, it is one of the most sought-after light machine guns ever made. And I got to play with one. Now, recently, I went up with the unsub guys to New
Dude, I saw
Hampshire to go visit Q.
a shoddy one that looks exactly like this. Like basic, like effectively the same profile.
And today, it is
Not
one of the most
in any way, shape, or
sought-after
form the same
light machine
mechanism. Yeah,
guns
you
ever
understand what I'm
made.
saying.
And I got to play
But
with
it had this like
Now, recently,
what would you call this? This very sort of like modern tactical look to it, with a very wide, very holy sheath like wrap around it. You get what I'm saying?
I went up with the unsub guys to New Hampshire to go visit Q. And while I was there, I got the opportunity to shoot Kevin's Stoner 63A in its belt-fed configuration. But what I have in my hands here is
That's the clip one.
cope version of that gun. This is the Robinson M96. This is a, for all intents and purposes, semi-automatic copy of the Stoner 63.
Oh.
Stoner 63 shape
The
firearm.
California compliant. Let's go.
And unfortunately, there is no belt-fed configuration for this one. And I say it's the gay cope version, not necessarily because it's bad, but there are a lot of differences, and honestly, I'm probably just butthurt that I don't own, and probably will never own, a real belt-fed Stoner. I think the last one that sold at Rock Island Auction sold for like $140,000, and that's before buyer's premium. It would literally be cheaper to buy a minigun. For context, these things usually go from like $4,000 to $6,000. So not cheap, but
That's way too much money. That's way too much.
All right. As for why the real Stoner 63 is so fucking expensive, even compared to other transferable machine guns, yes, they were very sought after, but the number produced had a lot to do with it. Of all variants of the Stoner put together, the number I heard is that there were 4,000 of these things made, which is not a lot. So yeah, having a real deal transferable Stoner, kind of a big deal. So just remember when you're watching this shoot, that weapon's probably worth about as much as a small house. So, getting to shoot a Stoner 63 is an absolute this is a unicorn gun. I've never even seen one of these in person. So, yeah, this is a real privilege, real treat. Now, normally with a select fire gun on the channel, I normally try to rip off a couple rounds, drop it down into semi, and just get a feel for the gun. That didn't work out this time.
Well, yeah, I mean, when it freaking fires, like, what was that? Freaking, like, can't even count how many you just...
So the semi-auto doesn't mean anything, does it?
No.
Okay, got it. So it's just auto only? I was gonna try to be nice.
It's just there for show.
Do it at first.
It's for the rifle.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, I love that.
The guy in the background, though. You all saw.
That's hot. That's really hot.
That's hot.
So that is obviously the belt-fed
Bro
configuration.
really had
of
to
the
channel his
Stoner
inner Will Smith.
63. A lot of people would consider that the most popular and the most successful variant of the Stoner, but I guess the entire concept behind it is that it was one of the first really
I can't lie, though. This one right here looks awesome. I would love to have this any day.
modular weapon platforms. So you could run it as a belt-fed light machine gun, like a lot of dudes really like to do. You can run it like this, where you've got an AR-15 style mag well on the bottom. So you could run it just, you know, like a normal rifle, carbine, all depending on how you set it up. There's even a variant where they had the mag well on the top, and you fed it basically like a bren. Why you would want to do that? But you could if you.
Well, I mean, during the Vietnam War, wasn't there like a whole lot of surplus of like magazines that were not like they basically had to be like gravity fed? They just didn't have springs in them.
You wanted to.
What's going on, guys? Greetings from Austin. That's the chair that guys who want more gun control sit in. But I'm here to talk to you guys about something serious for a second. Freedom is disappearing fast. Freedom to protect yourself, freedom to live how you want, even freedom to control your own money. The system's grip's kind of tightening, and one of their favorite weapons to use is debt. Crippling, soul-crushing debt. So if you're buried in credit cards, student loans, or medical debt, you're not in control anymore. The banks aren't. But you can help take control by checking out our sponsor, PDS Debt. PDS Debt have helped tens of thousands of people break free.
I was so confused. I thought he was gonna go on like
credit score required.
talk about like a law or something.
Pay off your debt faster and put that money back into your pocket. So you can be 30 seconds away from being debt-free by getting your free assessment and figuring out what the best options are for you. You can do that by going to pdsdebt.com/bh. That's pdsdebt.com/bh. It's also in the description and in the pinned comment.
Yes, when I say this is one of the most desirable light machine guns of all time, I don't just mean from a collector's perspective. I mean, of course it is there, but even back during Vietnam, this was really well known within the Special Forces community. A lot of your Green Berets, your Navy SEALs, they fucking love this thing. And who could blame them?
I mean, I guess if it was like so popular, how come it didn't see more use?
Let's compare apples to
How
apples.
come only like 4,000 were made?
You're a 24-year-old farm boy from Arkansas. You're halfway around the globe, tromping through the mud.
Or I guess, is it that the belt-fed ones, only 4,000 were made?
Johnson can make more money on Halliburton. Look it up. You've just been told you're going on mission, you're going to be required to hump a light machine gun about 20 miles through the fucking mud, in the swamps, possibly getting ambushed. It's hot as fuck and you're already carrying a shitload of equipment. Would you rather have a 23-pound... Let me actually just grab it. I have one here. What the fuck am I doing? Would you rather carry a 23-plus pound M60 light...
Who the hell else would just be able to, like, would you rather have this ginormous freaking weapon of mass destruction, or, like, would you like to have...
machine gun, or the light machine gun variant of the
Let me just bust this out real quick.
Which weighed just under 12 pounds. Literally half the fucking weight. I know the whole saying is ounces equal pounds, but fucking pounds equal pounds. In this case, 12-pound difference on your primary fighting rifle, big fucking jump. Of course, it's 5.56 versus 308, but I mean, hey, this isn't my opinion. This is the opinion of the.
Now I see how people try to like fire light machine guns IRL, and like they can't even walk while firing it. So I would imagine.
Not only the guys who were there, the guys who were there writing the.
This would make it a lot more.
Sometimes literally on what would become the most elite fighting
usable?
America's ever had. Go. Clear.
Okay.
So let's go over the manual of arms a little bit. So we've got our fire selector.
You can tell he's been freaking playing with that thing for a while. I wonder if it's his.
Holding it, it's right where your thumb is.
He was smoothly.
Up is safe. Down is fire. Charging handle is here on the left side. There is a last round bolt fold open. Magazine release is in the typical AR-15 position. Up front we have our gas adjustment. Basically just looks like somebody slapped a foul adjustable gas block up here. Once you see so many different ways to skin a cat when it comes to firearm design, you kind of see the matrix. You see God in everything. And if you're interested in
that's cheating though. You actually built a freaking rifle from scratch.
Design, you can get your start.
I don't even know what the hell that does or what it means.
And in the pinned comment. Here's where it gets kind of cool. There's a button here.
Gas? What? There's gas coming out the damn thing?
Here on the bottom, and when you
I didn't know firearms farted.
It allows you to quickly remove and replace the barrel. Pretty cool. It's basically just like an AR-15 style barrel extension with a little tapered pin that just plugs right there in the bottom.
That's pretty sick, actually. Imagine that thing overheats and like starts to warp. You just pop it out, pop a new one in.
I don't know if it's the same on the real one. Like I said, Geico. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this pin here, and the shotgun's open like so. And here we start getting into where this is not really a Stoner 63 on the inside. In all the disassembly footage and photos that I've seen, real Stoner 63 has a spring in the rear, and the bolt and carrier are one unit. In this case, the spring is in the front.
Okay, so basically, okay, understood. So I guess the real Stoner with that specific assembly. I mean, what would you consider? Well, I guess function-wise, would the original Stoner's mechanism be more reliable than this one, this modernized one? You get what I'm saying? And I guess maybe that's the reason why they didn't make more. They might have, like,
around the piston, kind of like the
made a better
SIG
design.
550 series, and the disassembly.
You know what I mean? Like, I wonder how the difference would be in a stress
push this
test.
little plunger in and whatnot, and rotate the gas tube out. It's kind of an ordeal. So we rotate this gas tube out so I can show you. You can kind of see this is the piston here.
I'm gonna be real with you. When people say the whole thing about like, maybe for your first one you should like get something simple and not a lot of moving parts, I think this is what they mean. Like, this is way too damn much. Like, you've lost me on this.
So kind of a long stroke piston, but you can see there at the bottom how the spring is around the piston instead of being in the rear. So you can kind of see the spring through these little vent holes. Like I said, very much SIG.
Oh yeah, I can see. I saw all that stuff you mentioned.
550 style. You can take this pin out, and voila, I give you a foul. So yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna take the rest.
See, that's where it like starts to get insane. It's like this stuff where you just freaking tear apart the freaking thing, and suddenly.
Apart, mostly because on this gun, taking it
You know, it's just a little intimidating that you can tear the thing apart like a freaking.
apart is kind of like riding a bike. By that I mean
You basically remove like 2 screws and you've disassembled this thing that can just fire
fall off, and my dad.
insane amounts of lead.
Yeah, like I said, lots of differences when you actually start taking a look at it between the real Stoner and the Robinson M96.
I really like the teardowns for the Vector, and I guess the Glock too. But the Glock is a little bit more like it seems like a hassle.
96.
But it's cool. It's cool for like just looking at the way the thing is
AK
built.
building. Once you learn the habits, they're there. But that is the basic gist of it. So like I said, the Robinson M96 is not necessarily the Stoner I deserve, but it is, however,
The one you have.
the Stoner I can afford. All right, guys, well, we're out here
Fair,
at Live
fair.
Kills doing a little bit of test fire on the Robinson M96. Now it's time to see how this compares to the very, very titty Stoner that we shot the other day.
This is true.
I'm expecting to be let down, but it's still really cool. For this to be cope, it is still like $7,000 of cope. So,
Jesus.
yeah. Charge that up real quick.
It's cool though. Oh yeah, I love it. That's cool. Well, I feel like the weight of it would help out a lot with this thing.
It's actually pretty rad.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like it's such a satisfying. Like I feel like the blockiness of it. Maybe it's the blockiness of it. I don't know.
Well, actually, I mean, it's not bad. Recoil is pretty nice. It almost recoils downward.
I don't know. I don't know why I love it so much. It looks kind of like a stockier or a bulkier AK. You know, I like the square. I like the square shape of it all. Eventually, Kyle said we're gonna go to the range, or whatever the hell, and I want to try out. I think he said he has like an American AK, well, not an American AK, but like an AK that's been chambered for 5.56. And I kind of want to see if that's like as good as the 7.62, because it's kind of like, oh, you're losing the OG-ness of it, you know. But
yeah, I kind of like it.
But facts is facts. So
And it
7.62
actually
is
ran well.
expensive.
But nothing beats a belt fed, dude.
I don't know. This is still pretty dope, though.
Gonna need what you want.
Right?
It needs-
See, he's trying so hard to be like, nah, man, nothing beats the OG. But it's like, I don't care what you say, bro. I think it looks cool.
It needs a bayonet lug.
Yeah.
It really needs a bayonet lug.
Why?
What is the chesty puller? Where do you attach the bayonet?
Yeah, when they brought the flamethrower out for him to try.
God bless that man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you got a double feature today of both the Stoner 63 and the Robinson M96. Robinson, if you're watching this, sorry I kept calling this gay cope when belt-fed conversion. God, I finally get to do that to somebody else. It's fucking awesome. Feels good. I see why you guys did it.
I feel like Robinson's probably not gonna go for a sponsorship anytime soon. I wonder if you could put like a. Even though I freaking love I personally love the iron sights more than anything. But I wonder if there is a version that has a mount on it.
No shit, I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I know I enjoyed doing a little bit more of a deep dive.
Without being, like,
moving
super
on to
intrusive,
the,
I should say.
Stoner 63. A lot there. You can actually watch Eugene Stoner, in his own words, talk about basically the inception of the Stoner and the thought that went into it. Some of the issues they had in the military trials, a bunch of different stuff like that. It's really cool to be able to hear a designer, in their own words, talk about the development of something like this. So those
I feel like throughout the entirety of those like earlier wars, a lot of militaries really wanted to take the power of an LMG and put it into like the carrying like of like the I guess they wanted to take LMGs and put them in the hands of like their normal everyday soldiers. And I feel like now in modern day like modern day now America, we kind of realize, or like modern day warfare, we kind of realize that it's better to just have a heavy weapon with like smaller caliber rounds, because it helps with the recoil. Whereas back then, I feel like they just wanted to put like the biggest possible caliber in the smallest possible like form. You get what I'm saying? You think about this, you think about the bar. You know what I mean? Insane.
Courses are actually on YouTube, which is where we found them. It's pretty fucking cool.
They were basically trying to invent the minigun before the minigun ever existed.
Very expensive light machine gun. If you'd like to see more footage of us shooting all sorts of rare machine guns up at our visit at
what was that, Epi7?
including a Beretta Raffica, like the 93R. I've never even fucking
that's
seen
sick.
one of those before in my life. And
that's some freaking Resident Evil stuff right there.
Do of all fucking things. If you want to see that footage, go ahead and check out Pepperbox. We put
I love the Berettas because the one for Resident Evil 5 looks sick.
There and a lot more machine gun content, a lot of stuff that sometimes we can't put on YouTube. I know I'm kind of doing that anyway. Anyhow, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Big ups to Liquid Richard, and I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks. Fucking gay cope.
Again, they're not gonna give you a sponsorship with that language, sir. Like, this is a Christian channel, right? You need to relax. As a Canadian, I feel like the sick kid watching his friends play with their new toys when I watch these. How do you think I feel? I'm in California. I feel like the kid who has access to the toys, but my parents are like, no. Hickok 45 here. I love Hickok 45. Because he basically just enjoys it and just fires at balloons, or not even balloons, and freaking sodas. I love it. Anyway, I freaking love that, dude. I saw that video, and I love the Stoner so much. It's so cool. I didn't know that there was, like, a more modern version of it, though. It's freaking sick. Thanks for hanging out. Like or dislike, comment, and subscribe, and become a Monodachi today! I live stream all day, Monday through Friday, so go say hi! That's all for now, Monos. Goodbye, and thanks for swinging by. Salut!